Alright guys, well I'm back today taking a look at one of the most impressive optics I've ever looked down, and that is the Vortex Razor HD Gen 2 from OpticsPlanet. And I want to give a huge shout out to these guys for sending this out to the channel for us to try out. A lot of you have been requesting more higher end optics to go on some of your nicer rifles, and without OpticsPlanet's support, none of this would be possible. I've been shooting this optic for about 4 weeks now, and I absolutely love it. There is almost nothing wrong with it, and the glass clarity is impeccable. But we'll talk about all that after we head down to the range one more time, run some rounds to it. Then we'll come back and talk about the specs and performance of this impressive optic made by Vortex, sent to us by OpticsPlanet. So I am back from the range, and I honestly don't think this review will do this optic justice. It's something that you have to look down, but I will try to stress the clarity and preciseness of this optic throughout the rest of this review. But first I want to show you guys an unboxing. I recorded the unboxing a little bit before I did this review. Now a lot of times in these optics reviews, I unbox them, then I take them down to the range and give you my impressions. But something like this, especially at the price point, needs to have a thorough review. Now I really do try to give a thorough review on every single review that I post on this channel, but something that costs around $1,500 needs a little bit longer to get a full grasp and understanding of why you would spend so much on this optic. So let's cut over to the unboxing. So the way this Vortex Razor is packaged, I mean, just screams quality. It's got a protective outer sleeve, then it has a second sleeve that actually protects the box. So just really cool packaging. You open it up and you just know you're getting something good. Remove that top cover. It comes with a lens cloth, all of your owner's manual. It talks about the illumination knob is locked, which we'll talk about in the specs and features in a minute. Comes wrapped up, and this thing is nice. It also comes with the battery and the Allen key to install everything you need. So I quickly mentioned the price point of $1,500, but this actually retails for $2,000. And on OpticsPlanet's website right now, you can find this on sale for $1,400. But if you use the coupon code 704T10, you'll actually get 10% off, which will save you a lot of money on this optic. Now this optic is sitting in a Vortex mount made by American Defense, and it is a very nice mount itself. I may do a review on this mount in the future, but in conjunction with this Vortex, this entire package is awesome. I'll add all the links in the description below, and remember to use that coupon code. It'll actually be valid on anything from OpticsPlanet's website, and it's a limited time run, so I'll put that expiration date in the description below. So let's start off with the basics. This is a 1:6 by 24 second focal plane scope, which means the reticle itself stays the same no matter what zoom level you're at. You can actually use this to range effectively depending on which reticle you buy at the 6 power setting. Everywhere else that ranging is be slightly off, so when you're sighting it in, I recommend you sight it in at the 6 power setting. Now that is the basics, and overall that's pretty much what this scope is about. Solid quality basics. There's not a ton of bells and whistles, but everything on this optic is darn near perfect. So I'm going to break it down into categories and review it like that. The first category I want to talk about is glass clarity. I'm going to cut over to that right now and show you guys the view through the optic with my camera. All of the specs and features about the glass and coatings are available on their website, but what I want to focus on today is just relaying to you how clear this optic is. Especially when you're doing competitive shooting or hunting, glass clarity is very important. You can't hit what you can't see, and something like this allows you to pick up the subtle nuances of a target to really distinguish where you want to hit. A lot of times, brush and things can obscure your view if you're shooting in the woods, and this allows you to really pick up your target with great clarity. Now, the edge clarity is impeccable. I've looked through other optics, even $500–600 optics, and you still get a slight blur around the rim. But as you can see, there is almost zero blur whatsoever anywhere on this optic. Another thing about the glass and lens setup is that this is a true one-power optic. And everybody else that says they have a one power that I've looked through still kind of obscures your vision when you're quickly pulling it up to use this as a red dot. But you can absolutely and truly use this as a red dot, which kind of brings me in conjunction with the illuminated reticle. Now I picked the Jerry Michalak, the GM-1 BDC reticle, which has a center dot that illuminates. And I believe all of the other ones have that center dot that illuminates as well, either the MOA or the mil dot. So there are a few different reticles we'll talk about in a second. But that illuminated reticle actually brightens up super bright like a standard red dot. This is not going to get washed out on a bright sunny day, and you can truly use this, the glass clarity as well as the illuminated reticle, as an actual red dot. I found myself getting confused that I actually had a scope and that I could zoom it in sometimes when I was doing quick up-close shots. The lens system itself has an adjustable eyepiece on the back, and it is really nice. You can fine-tune it in all the way out to 600–700 yards or all the way up close for like a red dot. You can kind of put it in between, allowing you to quickly transition, especially something like a 3-gun match where you need to shoot up close, then transition to a farther target. This optic is going to be perfect. This lens system and this optic itself is truly a jack-of-all-trades optic. For the guys who want a really nice optic and have a little bit extra money to spend and they want to drop it on a nice rifle, but they're confused on whether they want to do a red dot or a scope or maybe buy both, buy this. It truly works as an up-close and far-away optic. I really don't see this optic letting you down in any aspect whatsoever. Here's the opposing side of the optic, and you can see the adjustment knob right here for the illumination. A cool thing about this, and something that Vortex thought through, is this is actually a locking turret, so you're not going to rotate this accidentally. Another cool thing is there is actually a spot in between each illumination setting to turn it off. So there we are on 5, now we are off, now we are on 6, now we are on off. So this allows you to quickly illuminate the dial to your specific setting without racking all the way through and determining what illumination you want. Depending on the match, you may not want illumination for your farther shots because it may obscure your view and ranging capabilities. But you may want to turn the illumination on quickly and not fumble through all the settings, so you can just turn it on and then back off. So just an amazing dial. It's positive, it clicks into place nicely, and it definitely doesn't skip on and off, not even close. Also, the aggressiveness of something like this aluminum knob is really nice because you can easily grab it and turn it between settings, then lock it back into place. Something else I want to talk about is the turret covers. These come off really nice and they have some aggressive knurling. They're also sealed. This optic is fully waterproof and shock resistant, and I found that this is very, very durable, and it absolutely holds zero with no questions whatsoever. You can see the large dials are easily adjustable with no tools whatsoever and have some knurling on the top to allow you to grab them. Every aspect of this optic screams quality. It is fully thought out and fully capable of doing it anything you want to. So you can actually hear the clicks are audible, tactile, very deliberate. They're nicely labeled, and they also return back to the Battle Zero, so you can loosen this up and go back to the Battle Zero. But overall, just a very refined optic. Now I want to talk about the reticle I selected for this optic. Again, they have different mil dot and MOA options, but I selected the JM-1 BDC reticle. This allows you to quickly and accurately range your target for both 5.56 and 308. It's good anywhere from 20 to 600 yards. They actually include an entire pamphlet explaining how to set this up and explaining it for various types of rounds, the bullet drop, everything like that. So that is something to look through when you buy an optic like this. So I really like the way this reticle is set up. Now let's talk about the mount itself. This Vortex mount is perfect for this optic. It's a 30mm tube mount and it shifts it forward 2 inches. It also has a quick detach that locks up solid, and this mount is not going anywhere. When you buy an optic like this, you really want to invest in a solid mount. This entire package runs perfectly together. A cool thing about a mount like this is a lot of those cheaper mounts, you're going to have these large gaps, they're going to be slightly askew, but this is machined perfectly to have almost no gap on either side to align everything up perfectly. The return to zero is very nice as well, and everything aligns as it should. Everything on this optic screams quality, and I want to quickly talk about a few of the negatives, and there aren't many. And the first negative is just the price. I mean, you're going to spend a lot on something like this, but it is absolutely worth every single penny. It's really hard to justify, for me anyways, trying to spend $1,500 to $1,400 on an optic, but you will not be disappointed. Something like this won't ever let you down. The other downfall is maybe it's a little bit heavier, and in my opinion, I don't care at all about the weight, but a lot of guys are doing backpacking or hunting and they're going to be hiking a long ways. This optic is a little bit heavy, but honestly, I'd rather have it heavy and durable. This thing is built like a tank, it is solid and robust. So I'd rather have the added weight for the durability. Especially, you don't want to break this thing, and I don't think you can because of how solid it is. And the last thing I want to talk about is the adjustability of this zoom knob. You're pretty much going to have to put a throw lever on here if you're going to be doing quick 3-gun, because it's a little bit stiff. Maybe it'll loosen up over time, but it's kind of stiff to grab. It does have some nice knurling, but a throw lever is going to be key, especially in a competitive scenario. Shooting an optic like this radically transforms the way I view optics in general. Something like this is impeccable. I've never shot something so nice, and after shooting it, I really feel like there is a place for an optic like this. Somebody who is a competitive shooter or is going to buy one and one only optic for their very nice rifle and has some money to invest will not be disappointed in the quality of something like this. This is not just another optic that is mediocre that they slap a name on and put a high price point. You truly are paying for a high quality glass, a robust optic, and a refined feel in every aspect. So something like this definitely has a place in a lot of shooters' hearts. Now again, I'm going to continue to review high value and budget optics, but I hope occasionally to review some of the higher end stuff you guys have been requesting. And that's all thanks to OpticsPlanet's support. So I hope you guys like this video, and I hope this gives you an option on the upper tier to put on some of your nicer rifles. If you've liked this video, please check out my other ones and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.